Creator, director, Bejoy, welcome to Aur Batao.
Glad you're in Kaala.
Yes.
Bejoy Nambiar was like a star. Sometimes when they say, when you meet people you really admire, meet your heroes, you're really let down. However, with Bejoy, it was the complete opposite.
What the hell?
Honestly.
Finish that.
इंटरव्यू थोड़ा अलग होने वाला है, हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे.
He said, सुन तू पहले शॉट से आखिरी शॉट तक फूटा फिटा
I don't think I noticed you without a cut or a bandage in any scene. Jitin, about your character.
He's looking beautiful.
ये भरोसा जरूर है कि मैं मंजिल तक पहुंचूंगा.
Waiting is a very important aspect. But if you wait for the right things, trust me, great things can happen.
Do I struggle with saying no? I really do. I really do. Trust me, I really do. Like
I'm Avinash Tiwari.
Hi, this is Bejoy Nambiar. Hi, मेरा नाम है जितिन गुलाटी
और आप देख रहे हैं और बताओ स्तुति के साथ.
और बताओ
Aur Batao with Stutee.
Hi guys, welcome to Aur Batao. मैं हूँ स्तुति and here sitting with the team of Kaala. So getting all of them together was quite a task, but बड़े अच्छे लग रहे हैं क्योंकि अभी तक ट्रेलर में जो हमने देखा है काफी battered and beaten and a lot of action is happening. So we're going to start with, of course, the creator, director, Bejoy. Welcome to Aur Batao.
Thank you. I'm glad you're in Kaala.
Yes. We understood the brief. Avinash Tiwari, there's Jitin Gulati and Rohan mehra. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
सबसे पहले to you, Bejoy. The casting is solid. How did you think of this?
This is actually, casting is a process I really enjoy. So while writing, of course, the writing took about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And midway through the writing, almost 6 months into the writing, Hotstar was already asking us who are the names that you're thinking of. So most, other than Jitin, I'll be honest, other than Jitin, I think most of these Avinash, Rohan, and some of the other cast, we were all part of the cast list. They were the names that we were thinking of anyways.
Okay.
So Jitin just came out of nowhere. He just came and did this phenomenal test and just blew us away from his audition was outstanding. And I keep saying this, Jitin's role is the only role I think we tested the maximum number of people for.
Wow, that's quite a compliment, huh?
A lot of people, and I mean, I can't really reveal some things about the audition.
I can't thank him enough. I'm sure I'm going to thank a lot post the release. Yeah. Once people have
Once
seen
people
it.
see, So that's how it kind of came about. But yeah, Avinash, Rohan were all part of our initial wish list.
Very cool.
And I'm glad they came about.
बड़ा एक्शन किया आपने and
Yeah.
By the way, Jitin and you currently have a problem of plenty, which is not a bad problem to
Absolutely
have.
not.
But
First world problems. First world problems.
I know, but that's so cool. So how are you feeling? Like
It's nice. It's still sinking in, very honestly. Right now, it just feels exhausting because that is all you're doing. You are up every day and going about it. But I've also, we decided to celebrate this. It's gonna be our Diwali. That's what we think.
Our
of
Diwali
it.
is
Prepone.
And
Yeah.
it's a festival for us, so everyone can join in and enjoy with us. That's how we are looking at it.
so cool. Rohan, how was your experience on set? So you all have had scenes together, right? You've shot together. You spent that time.
I would answer that question, but Bejoy would kill me, so I'm not going to answer the question on that. But I will say the set. I mean, my time on set was fantastic. Just to collaborate with Bejoy was just a dream come true. I've always been a Bejoy Nambiar fan. I started my career as like a writer-director. So, and I'm actually not from, I didn't grow up in India.
Yeah.
So, from the outside looking in and seeing directors in India who are doing interesting and different work, Bejoy Nambiar was like a star, for me looking at that. So when I came to Bombay, if you told me I would work as an actor with him, 10 years later, I would say pinch me because that. But the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes when they say, when you meet people you really admire, meet your heroes, you're really let down. However, with Bejoy, it was the complete opposite.
What the hell?
Honestly. No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
Pause it.
I'm being honest.
एक और shoot बन सकता है.
No, I'm being really honest because the thing is, it's that with Bejoy, it was the complete opposite. It was really a dream come true.
Oh boy.
We're all glad
You finished that.
No, I didn't. I wasn't going down that route. Don't worry. Yeah.
I was like, it's finally payback time for Rohan. It's like, what?
on camera.
No.
But Bejoy, I think he's echoing a lot of our sentiments.
Yes.
You receive a lot of love. Okay, and
I'm
you
very
know, we've
grateful
loved
for.
your work. और एक particular आपने खुद बोला है that you get influenced by Mani Ratnam a lot. You've assisted him. आज Teachers' Day है. What is the one quality of Mani Ratnam, sir, that you'd say you wish you had?
His persistence to always try and up his game. That's his, and I've seen it. I've seen like I've been part of his sets, been part of his storytelling, and that one aspect of it, like the very most simplest of things. But because he feels, no, we have done this before. How can we do this differently? So that persistence of getting into the minute details of that, I admire that so much. And I find myself letting up. Like sometimes I let go. I say, no, it's okay. I just need to finish this. But that I wish I can be more
That
like
commitment
that.
to
The commitment to
perfection.
that minutest thing of what can we do differently? What can we do?
No, he
to
doesn't
up
give
it?
up. Trust us.
Oh my God! How many takes would he?
It's not about takes.
It's not about takes.
It's about what he
Let's
wants.
not go there.
Yeah,
It's
correct.
about he can go to any lengths to get what he
Absolutely.
However, he
Sometimes-
won't ask you to do something which he wouldn't do himself. I will say that.
I really want कि आप elaborate करें. ये बहुत
नहीं मतलब if we have 24 hours, this man is working for 48 hours. I don't know how to explain. It's like just double speed. कल ही हम बात कर रहे थे कि when it's denser, it seems faster. So it's like all his ideas are really dense inside, and it's going so fast that when you're with him, you want to get in sync with him, right? So you're like,
He
okay.
has frame. He has a frame in his mind. So 48 frames, this
Yeah,
frame.
yeah.
It's
वो
all.
कुछ अलग चल रहा होता है and you try to find your thing and you're like, this man is on steroids, bro. I can't. This is
What
so.
are you
Yeah, it's. We all have to pull our socks up and be on our toes to be in a Bejoy Nambiar film or a show, and it's an experience for sure.
Yeah, it'll be like a fully mutual thanking thing. But I don't think this would have been possible. This show would have been possible the way we mounted and did it. Maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but the kind of budgets we had and the kind of scale we wanted, aspired to have, it wouldn't have been possible if all of them were not troopers. They all kind of just bandied about together and really stood by me. And I'm talking about the cast, crew. We really went through some very tough times to finally get to where we were. Like extremely tough times.
I'll give you an
Jitin
example.
smile wants to say
I
that.
want to say something. There was one scene. There were actually 2-3 scenes that were cut because of date issues and other things. And he said, now we're doing this very important scene for the character on a phone, where this phone calls this character. And I spoke to him that I said, this is the only time where we can literally glorify that character's power.
I forgot. Oh yeah. Okay.
If it was any other director, with all due respect, I think because of production cost or whatever, that would have been let go. He said, okay. And I'm not joking, when you see that shot.
He's also a producer.
And
Yeah,
I mean,
so the producer me was like, "Ye phone pe kar lenge."
Yeah.
But he just kept persisting, and he kept telling me this would be so important for the character if we have a face to face. And the way he convinced me, I was like, okay, I need to.
he said yes.
Give
And
respect to that.
I was surprised because there was cost attached to it, and there were dates and everything.
Yeah.
And we did 1 day and 1 night shoot for that.
It turned out to be a beautiful scene. Yeah? It's one of my favorite scenes. I love that scene.
I love that scene.
That tells me I need to take tips from you because I approached him saying, "ये वाला वापस एक बार कर लो."
No, I was very surprised he said
मैं
yes.
actually I was coming to that कि ये मतलब सुन लेते हैं इस बार
पता है इसको कौन सा करना था वापस? He was like, वो shower scene वापस करते मैं I'll just bop up मैंने बोला बहुत dim light है चलेगा.
तो अब क्योंकि हमने शो नहीं देखा आप लोगों ने देख लिया all of you have seen it?
हाँ जी, मैंने देख लिया.
I haven't seen the show.
Oh, you haven't?
मैंने पूरा नहीं
I've seen
देखा.
all 8 episodes.
Not yet.
You've seen all 8, no? But you've seen an older cut.
Without the DI.
Yeah.
हाँ without.
So अब क्योंकि हमने नहीं देखा तो इंटरव्यू थोड़ा अलग होने वाला है हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या है. What is this reverse hawala that we get to know in the trailer? How much can you reveal?
See, it's about a financial scam and about money laundering. The base of it is that, and Hawala, as you know, it's this whole parallel banking thing that for years it's been running as a parallel economy. So we're trying to show a window into that, and we came up with this fictional concept of reverse Hawala. how money, instead of sending it back, it's being filtered into the system and being used for something wrong. So that is what we're trying to delve into. It was the idea came about in the writers' room from one of the writers, Prayas Gupta. He came up with the idea of reverse hawala, and then we all kind of latched on. We liked the concept of it because when he pitched the idea to us, it's almost like a presentation. He did a presentation of it, and then he said that how this money which is being filtered back in is being used for wrong purpose. So he gave it a clear logic to it, and we kind of ran with it, and that's how it came about. But
Also,
I would say that as much as it is about that, as much as it is about the money laundering schemes and reverse hawala, that's one aspect of the show. I would literally say, like I think Jitin mentioned in one of the interview, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
So we can't wait to watch it. About the other characters, काफी एक्शन लग रहा है, काफी लोग पिट रहे हैं, बैंडेड्स दिख रही हैं. Avinash, I'm going to start with you and move on to the rest.
Yeah, so I think the first time we spoke about the character, he said, "सुन तू पहले शॉट से आखिरी शॉट तक फूटा फिटा टूटा
Yeah, I
फूटा
don't
है."
think I noticed you without a cut or a bandage in any scene.
There is a time frame of the show जिसके बीच में ये पूरी कहानी चल रही है. So उस दौरान ये जब शुरू से पिटते हैं तब तक एंड तक जितनी बार इन्होंने मार खाई है. But I think that is what is so interesting about this guy. He's bruised, he's battered, unstoppable. The endurance that he has, he almost comes across this man who will be the last man standing. These qualities are something that really excites you as an actor. Because in a conventional sense, वो हमारा हीरो वाला जो होता है जिसमें एक मारोगे तो मैं चार मारूंगा. If I remember correctly, I don't think he's killed. No, so he's not really killed. People are dying around him, but he hasn't killed a single person. There is a certain sensitivity that this character has been written, which I found very unique for a story like this. And I hope when it comes out, people are able to see that and acknowledge it.
Actually, that's another, as much as what he said about the last man standing and being consistent and sincere towards what he's trying to investigate, that was another layer in the story, that throughout he should be like, because there's a lot of his trauma inside, past trauma and everything, which in a way manifests and becomes physical for him. So that was the idea.
Yeah.
So throughout the story, we see him always with, even when he's recovering, again, there are these fresh wounds that just keep popping up. So that's something we try to stay consistent.
Nice. Jitin, about your character?
You know, my character is more emotionally battered than physical.
Right.
I will not giving away too much, but I think he's looking beautiful. He's looking pretty.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's just so much that's going inside of him. There's so much that he has to understand about himself and make sense of who he is and the world around him. That it's just a beautiful arc that this character gets. Yeah. If I say anything else,
You're going to
I'll
reveal
get a
more
look.
than you're allowed
I'll get a look.
Yeah, I would second that. I would say with my character and Jitin's character, they represent that. I mean, Ritik's character as well, but I would say with our characters, there is that emotional battering they are taking, and I think with my character, at least, I think his story kind of starts on getting emotionally battered, and the rest of the story takes shape after that, and how he deals with that emotional trauma of what he's gone through in that moment, because there's a central incident which he goes through, which kind of shapes his life and the lives of those around him, and I think that's a central theme of the show, which is I think what Jitin said in a previous interview, that it's an incident in someone's life affects their life, but affects everyone around them as well, and happens to every character. So there's this web that occurs. Yeah.
So this has definitely piqued our curiosity. एक सवाल मेरा creator से और फिर actors से. Bejoy, like I said, we're all fans. We look forward to a project that you're helming. और आजकल content की कमी नहीं है. Whether it's films, it's OTT, there's just so much to keep track of. You know, when you think of ideas or you decide to go on floor with the project, आप क्या सोचते हो कि how do you differentiate your show with others? You know, there are going to be so many other thrillers that will come out, so many other heights films of, you know, action. How do you decide to up your game each time?
Well, that's been the case with me in my first film only. So, you know, every time, I mean, and this is something I've been saying from my first film, whatever I take on, it has to really excite me so much that as an audience, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
So I'm the most excited to watch, and I'm one of those very weird filmmakers. I enjoy my own work a lot. I love my work. I'm not kidding.
I love that. That's so.
A lot of filmmakers, they say, "Arey, I can't watch my old stuff." I love watching my old stuff. So I love
Which one is your favorite Bejoy Nambiar?
David and Tesh.
Yeah.
David and Tesh is very close to me. So I love watching my work, and even with Kaala, like the other day, I'm sitting in the sound studio and watching episode 8 and episode 7. और मैं ही हंस रहा हूँ, मैं ही ताली वाली बजा रहा हूँ, क्या बना है, बहुत अच्छा बना है. And sound वाले मेरे को देख रहे हैं, सर आपका ही है. मुझे मजा आ रहा था, like I enjoy my work. So I'm my first audience. I need to enjoy it. I need to be excited up. So and that excitement needs to be there from the conception of the idea till it needs to keep getting better. In fact, what pulls you down is when on the conception stage it is very exciting, but then when the execution some things don't fall into place, that really frustrates you. Then you have to constantly see how to make it better. So yeah.
And do you have a reference? Like you, of course, need to impress yourself, like you said. But कोई और है जिनके critical feedback आप value करते हो?
I am luckily surrounded by some very interesting some friends and filmmakers of mine whose feedback I really value. So at different stages we did show it to some people. We had a test audience and we showed it. बहुत गाली गाली पड़ी. बहुत अच्छे suggestions मिले. In fact, last stage when I had almost locked it, I showed it to someone who came up with something very interesting. I incorporated that. So I think it's very important to do that. You can't be shoeboxing thinking नहीं हम बना रहे बहुत अच्छा है. I think it's important to showcase it to the right people whose feedback you can trust. Yeah, for sure.
So now coming to Rohan, Jitin and Avinash, you know they say actors को of course अपने skill और acting वो सब तो करनी है, but one thing that you have to master is the art of being patient, to wait for the right role, the right project. वो wait आप लोगों के लिए कैसे होता है? How tough, easy, what has been the biggest learning?
I think एक ख्याल है जो हमेशा साथ रहता है, which is लंबी दूरी तय करने में वक्त लगता है. And once you know this, it's हाँ ये भरोसा ज़रूर है कि मैं मंजिल तक पहुँचूँगा. फिर मंजिल पहुँचते ही आदमी बोलता है कि करीब आई मंजिल तो मंजिल बढ़ा दी, और फिर एक जर्नी शुरू हो जाती है. So that's been the way of life for me. There is no hurry. There is a reason हमारा चंद्रयान चांद पर पहुँचा और दूसरे देशों का नहीं. तो there is some value to have patience and your own pace, your own comfort. As long as you land there, that is all that is important, I feel.
Very cool. Jitin?
I think that's one skill that every actor has to master. While we train in our craft and we learn so many skills, and we also have to do a lot of other things, branding, PR, managing, everything. But patience is one thing that helps us not even in our career, but also on the set. Waiting is a part of my job. It's not that I go to the job and I am sitting and they'll call me in half an hour. No. And it happens with every actor. Senior actors, people who are starting out, waiting is a very important aspect. But if you wait for the right things, trust me, great things can happen. Yeah, and that pays. This career is not basically, made of. It's actually made up of the no's that you do, and not much of the yeses.
Yeah.
And especially our work, if you need longevity in the system, you need to say yes to the right things.
Yeah. Segue to that, Rohan, it's easy for you to say no, or you still struggle with that?
I struggle very. Just to touch on the.
Say no to me. Tash was giving
No.
He said no to me.
No, I did not. But wait, on a little bit on the patience thing. I find it very difficult, obviously. I think what Jitin's saying is actually quite true. It's a huge skill for an actor to have. To be patient is actually to be present as well. And to be present, that's the main thing you have to be an actor. However, I think initially when I first started out and things were moving slowly, and as it does with a lot of people, I used to get very worked up about it, and I used to be very edgy about it. But I'm really blessed that I have hobbies. I love music, I love reading. I'm a musician myself, so and even photography, for example. So I use my time when I'm not working to explore music and photography, and within that you learn so much about just craft. And funnily enough, that kind of helps you with the acting as well. But do I struggle with saying no? I really do. I really do. Trust me, I really do. I'm someone who overthinks. I would rather say, it sounds a little extreme, sorry, but I would rather say yes if it caused me like harm than say no to someone, you know, 'cause I find it very difficult. I struggle with it all the time.
As actors, insecurity होती है जब set पे हैं एक दूसरे के performance को लेके somebody is doing really well, do you feel like
I think it's about inspiration. You know,
It
you
is.
also have to find your space
Yeah.
between insecurity and inspiration. If you have good people and good actors, and if you know that what we are working towards is a common goal, it's always about inspiration. You can't be insecure. I mean, it could be personal as well. But I think as individuals, what we should aspire to be is do better. Because it's not athletics, so it's not running that I'm doing
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You know, the journeys are so different. The time taken for each of us is so different. Our lives are so different. We, as actors, we are so different. As much as it's difficult, I think comparing ourselves to each other is actually
you feed off each other's energy?
yes. But comparing yourself is a useless thing, especially for I feel actors.
Super. On that note, all the best.
Thank you.
We are waiting
Thank you.
to see Kaala, but this was a lovely chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.